We've done this before, but now I want to take it one step slower. Now, for me, the breakaway world of creation is 1, 4, and 7. Everything links to here. Wherever this star goes, you see the Union Jack, right, is one of these corners right here, right? It's also this corner here. Top left corner, top right corner, bottom right corner, bottom left corner, right? Put it like this, Union Jack if you want for the numbers. Anyways, the 2, 4, 6, 8 connect together in a diamond. It's the 4, okay, connected from the 2 and 8, and the 6 connected from the 2 and 8 that will create the runway 6, 5, 4, right? We go all the way around number 5. All the way around number 5. Why? 2, 3 times 2 will create 6. 1 plus 5 will create 6. 4 plus 2. Everything, we have to work all the combinations and understand how numbers go together. But let's move this out of the way. This one over here, okay, is 420. 420. 7 hours times 60 is 420. That is your 10 star. But once you get past 5, all of these numbers are automatic jack-up numbers because there's an hour and 6 minutes here. There's an hour and 17 minutes here. There's an hour and 28 minutes here. This is the spirit that passes through the moon. 1, 3, 5, 9. There is no one spirit, but a separation at the 7th gate. It's 1, 3, 5. 5 and 9 are the same. 7 is the separation between 5 and 9. Okay, when we get to this number over here, this number spells the word Christ. Okay, inside the word Christ, it says CH and the initials first. It tells you it is the separation in Mars because 1 times 7 and 1 plus 7 will be 7 and 8, equaling to 15, the number in Mars. It will show us 12 hours. Now, how does it show us 12 hours? Because if we worked in 777 minutes, it would give us 720 of 12 hours, in which only 9 hours can be actually calculated, because the numerological count is 8 plus 1, so the maximum we get is 480 minutes before we make a switch. 6 times 60 degrees is 360 degrees. So before we can make a switch anywhere, we cannot pass 8. 8 around 1. Remember, it's 4, then it's 4, then it's 4, and it's 4, all connecting to 1. It's 3, and it's 3, and it's 3, and it's 3. All these connecting to the next one. So they're all interlocking just by looking at the numbers, okay? The area space that pushes all 4, the area space that pushes all 4, the area space that pushes all 4. When you push to 5, you push all of these. And in between these numbers are the size to the word gold and the diameter of the moon. 3476. 3476. I'm quite sure if I do this calculation, 3476 divided by 1.62 should be 2160. 21, very close to 60. This is the diameter moon, and it should be this number over here. I have to work my weights and measures board. So we're going to go back down to over here. This is where Mars comes in. This one over here, we only have 6 minutes. The total difference is 11. The total difference is 11. The total difference, every time we go 1, 1, 1, becomes 60 and the 11 minutes. The 11 away from 60 will equal 49. 7 times 7 equals 49. That's 11 away. Do you follow what I'm saying? 7 times 7 is a calculation. We'll give you the number 49. 49 is 11 away from 60. Inside 12 hours, okay, 57 minutes. 12 hours is 720. Plus 57 equals to 777 in minutes. 57 minutes equals to the moon. 12 equals to the heavens above. Okay, 12 hours. Half. D is half to the flat. When you get a flat, because you're halfway in between. When you get 2 rounds, it's because it's both sides of the ball. 777. Here's your 360 degrees, and the rotation continues. It becomes the half-life. So the rotation has to be around this way, showing time. Because 0 equals 6. If it was 106, if it was 666 minutes, okay, 666 minutes would be 10 hours. The 10 star plus 1 hour plus 6 minutes. 6 minutes for 6 man. 555 is the highest we can go. This number does not repeat, and this brings on electric company. 5 times 5, 5 plus 5 will do the same thing as 720. 72 or 720 is half the day. Talking about the 10 star. When we're putting numbers together, we need to know, we have to understand the total, not what we're using. We need to know the maximum. We need to know all the outlets. That's the way we need to calculate. 444, or 4 times this. 4 times this is 960. 4 times this is 176. It stands for area. 240 is 1 part or 1/2 of the Mayan month. 240 hours, a 10-day period of 24 is this number over here. I also work it in either 18 months, okay, of 20 days, or 20 months of 18 days, because 9 times creates this cycle, right? The first one is automatically 10, because we have to start this year, and until this year is finished into the next year, this one doesn't count until we reach the next day. Because man, it's the day of man, so he comes during the day. So the day is already, the part of the 24-hour day is already started at 6 o'clock when the red sun comes in because the rooster said so. I'm just telling you in games we watch and what happens. So when we come to 5 times 5, 5 plus 5, okay, it'll equal 8. Okay, 5 and 3 is 8. 5 times 3 is 15. Equals to a total of 23. 27. Okay, which is a number that comes from the word red. It also creates the number 23 and 72. Okay, and 27 is 99. Automatically, we know that's Jupiter. Jupiter adds to 9. I, Captain, Jupiter. So these are all the numbers. When you come to the Son of Man, you get this over here. It represents purple. Purple represents red and blue. First we have yellow and blue, then we have red and blue. Now we got to work combinations. How do we get 9? We get 8 around 1. So take away 1 from this. Make it 8. So we get 480 and 60 to create that 9. If we want to bring them together, we will bring them together by stretching out these two here, these two here, these two here, then these two here, then these two here. When we bring these two here together, okay, they have a total of 600. That is your 600 minutes. That is your 10 hours. That is your stairs time. This will create 1010. That is the Twin Towers, 110 stories. 40 and 60 is 100, 110 stories on the tower. It's 1.5 times the representation of Mars. Now we can shift. We can use 3 and 4 equaling to the 7th gate on this side. But once we go to 1 and 2, 1 will get 6 and 2 will get 5. Right away, we're in between. The only one that's below is 3 and 4. That does not reach out to the other side because creation doesn't happen till here. But yet 3 and 4 is happening over here. And we're always repeating DC, DC, DC. Because DC, the only way DC begins, right? It begins like this. Here is your C, and there is your D created. This thing here spins around the Earth, or up and down over the Earth. I'm not sure how it works, but there's a constant energy in this area, and it's brushing out in this area over here, spinning around. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that is, and it would be on this angle, some kind of force. Now, the question is, we have to make 2 of them because B has been created, so we now have a duplication for the energy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go this one over here. These two will create the sun. This one, okay, will create the 9 lives of the cat. The 9 lives of the cat, the tail is in the air. What is the representation of the cat? We have to understand. Here's your 77, right? This represents Jesus. This one is area space. This one is the creation of both sides, 180. This is the dome. This is linear. This is in the center. This is linear, 2 ends. This is a dome because it has to go up 90 and then 90 out and 90 out. It's the dome, 33. 7 and 20 is the half day. We're going to get now the cycle of the moon will be 222 and 888. That'll be 10. Everything will add up to 1010. 2 and 8, 2 and 2 and 8. This is the cycle of the moon. So you get 480, which is the sun, right? The son of man, 480, and 120. Now I got to understand and establish that this would be a quarter of the time period because it's 120. Okay, is a 5-day period. 120 is when you add up the numbers, the gateway in Mars adds up to this. This is the signification for life. 216, or this would be 4 by 30 and 3 by 40. This also is 216, or a 9-day period when all zeros equal 6. I'm not sure what everything means, but this is your cycle in the moon, the 28 days, what composes within those 28 days. And this represents the sun in the sky. Here's your 28 days, 14. This 14 is very special. One of the reasons it's special is because what represents 14? 14 is represented by the king. Represents 14. And one of the reasons is because in the playing cards, the king of diamonds has one eye up and one eye down. That's one card. It's a diamond. The diamond value is 60. The king's value is 41. The DNA of time, 101. 14, DNA of time, 1 card. The 3 other kings, okay, the red one has now 2 and 2 eyes. This king of diamonds has 1 and 1 eye. And the other 3 kings have 2 and 2 eyes and 2 of 2 eyes. Why? Because when the card is upside down. So you'd have 7 and 7 eyes. What is up? What is down? Down is a 4-letter word. 4 times 27 equals to 108. Up is a 2-letter word. 2 times 27 equals 54. So we have sun up. Because we have 1 sun here and a duplication over here. The number to the sun is here. This will create the birth. This will create 168, will be create the birth inside the week. Okay, EE, electronic creation world, 1 and 1. I'm not sure what they all mean. 6 totals, 162 of the 216 hours of a 9-day, 24-hour for the day of man. Man's birth is 9. 9 times 24, 216. 1 and 6 is the half-life. It also comes, okay, 1 and 6 also comes on the other side. If I move it down, it becomes 300. If I move it down 120, okay, it becomes 240. If we're playing bowling, bowling tells us to stay over here. This is the electric company. 72, 72, and 53, okay, will both create number 23. But remember, this is 5, this is 8, this is 9. 8 and 9, my friends, 8 and 9. Create it all. You can't get away. This is the H no matter what you say. Okay, H and I right over here, put it on an angle. This will create 7 by 2 equals to 14, 5 by 3 equals to 15. These are the first 6 numbers that you get in pi to create everything. And all we need to know is 6, because man is 6, and everything after that is what goes on in the cycle. This will create 14 and 15, and it'll create 2 plus 7 will equal to 9, and 3 plus 5 will equal to 8. These will equal to 29, so the high sky equals to your birth. It happens 1 every 3 years. The king of diamonds has 7 and 7 eyes. The queen has 2 black and 2 red cards. The black cards are valued at 29. The red cards are valued at 27. 27 representing the sun. 29 representing the earth, the negative value. The queens have 4 and 4 and 4 and 4. The queens are a representation of phi. This would be 8 and 16 equaling to 24. The total. You minus it, and it equals to 8, equaling to 32, the freezing point in the doorway, and 16, the 1 spirit of the half-life, equaling to 84 and 16. Now it's 1/3. And you can keep going up. It becomes 64 and 32, the doorway. It's like climbing, this number. It's climbing. Okay, so now we have the queen. So the queen altogether, okay, the queen gets 8 and 8. The queen gets 16 eyes because it represents all the eyes in creation of the half-life. You need more eyes on top of the eyes you have. So between the queens and the kings, you have the queens at 16 eyes, and you have the king at 14 eyes. 1/6, 1/4. This equals to 7, this equals to 5. That's the same number as in the moon, 57. It also will recreate 47, but we're not going to look at that right now. We're going to go here, and the moon is 57, and it'll recreate 35, 7 times 5, and 12, equaling to 47. That's your number to Jesus. Boy, oh boy, Jesus keeps looking more like a girl now, eh? More like a girl now. So now you have the jacks. Jacks are funny because I think if I remember the heart and the spade, is that right? The diamond and the club. The club, I don't want to say it this way, but the guy in the club looks more like a girl, and he's a transvestite or something. This one has 2 and 2 eyes. This is 2 and 2 eyes. This one each has 1 and 1 eye, 1 and 1 eye. So inside the heart, red and red, you have 3 and 3 in the red house, and you have 3 and 3 in the black house. Okay, that's what you have. In total eyes, you have 6 and 6 is 12. So now the jacks have 12 eyes. Okay, 12. Right? 12. Now the jack, right? The jack has 6 and 6. The queen has 8 and 8. And the king has 7 and 7. 21 and 21. Representation of the cube and 420. Why? Because 420 is because they're all valued at 10. They're all valued at 10 in blackjack. So now we come back, and we're going to go back to the jacks. We're going to go and say they have 8 and 8 is 16, and they have 12, and they have 14. You from this gets 64. 80 is the communication, right? When you get 12, you get a half. When you get a quarter, 14, you get a quarter. You add these two together, you get 1/6. 64, 6 by 6, 36, 7 by 7, 49. The gateway in creation, east-west rotation, Zion, Israel. 21 is the cube. 6, 7, 8 vibrates at 324. 432 vibration, all inside 51 Mars. Highway 80 is the speaker of that. These highways, Highway 80 and Highway 40 and Highway 10 in the U.S., okay, are the speakers of these gems. I can't explain it. So now you know that when you play the game of cards, there's a total of 21 eyes. Red, okay, in the red eye, there's 3 red eyes, okay, for the kings. 3 red king eye. The word I is 5, 10, and 25. This one is 2 and 5. Earth, 5255, right? 5255. This I is the big mark. That's why it's almost 25, 625. It's the quarter times a quarter is 625. Times the DNA, 41 times 625 equals 25, 625. 290 from the big count of the Mayans. The birth of 10, 296. The 192 is the spirit. Or if you go 296s, right? You end up with 93 at the end, and that is Saturn. 6 and 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. So when you go over here, you have 3 red eyes for the king. For the queens, right? You have 4. red eyes for the queen. And for the jack, you have 3 red eyes. For the jack, so you have 3 for the king, right? 3 red eyes for the king. 4 for the red queen, okay? And for the red jack, you have 3. 3, 4, 3. 7 times 7 times 7. Now, if you want to go black, the king's has 4 eyes. The queen's has 4 eyes. And the jack has 3 eyes. 3, 4, 3. 4 by 4 is 16. Times 3 is 48. The son of man. To bring it to the 7th gate, it's 3, 3, 4. To bring this to the 7th gate, it's 4, 3, 4. 4, 8, 11. 3, 6, 3, 3, 6, 10. 21 blackjack. Minus and plus becomes 15 and 27. Inside of Mars, creation of the red sun of the high sky. 6 and 3. This will create 8 and 6. This will create 5. 1 times 2. This will create 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. Okay? Which equals to 5. 3 and 2, BC communication. The CB codes, the antennas, the rabbit ears. We hear and we see everything that's going on. So now we totaled it out. We have 3, 4, 4, and we have 3, 4, 3. We have 11 and 10 eyes. This is the king, this is the queen, and this is the jack. Now, if you want to go to the clubs, and the diamonds, and the hearts, and the spades, right? The diamond, okay, king, has 1 eye. The queen, okay, has 2 eyes, okay? And the jack has 2 eyes. That is a total of 5 eyes, okay, on the diamond suit. 5 times the diamond. Diamond equals 60, mark it at 300. The club, okay, has 2 for the queen, 2 for the king, and the club has 2 for the jack. That's 6 eyes. 6 times club, if you want to work the thing club, and it's 3, 3, 3, 2, the number to the club. That's a total of 11. That's right. 3, 3, 3, 2. Club equals to 3, 12, 21, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. The church. 48, 38. 38 times 6 is 180, and 48, 228. 114, the hand of God. 57. Okay, inside connecting of moons. We connect moons this way. 4 moons because of 57. Creating the 57 moon, which is the moon we call our moon, moon, and all moons, moon. So let's connect. We're only talking about 1 moon, multiple moons, 4 moons. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention that we did this over here, the club. Did we do the heart yet? The heart. Let me stop for a second here. So now we're going to take on the hearts. In the hearts, we have 2, 1, 2. So we have 5 for the hearts. Heart equals to 52. Okay, we have 5, we have 260. This one connects this number. 260 is the marking to that. There's a special numerological calculation, 13 by 20. Okay, which is 616. It's the same setup as the Monopoly board. The way 2 boards will connect together and overlap. Instead of having, when you put 2 boards of Monopoly together, right on one side, instead of having 8 trains, you end up with 6 trains. Instead of having, you cover up 2 of the trains. And anyways, so we get that, okay? We get that. 5 for the hearts. Then we get the spades, right? We get the spades. We already know what the queen is. But with the spades, we got 5 eyes for the spades. But when you have 5, right? You have 2, 4. So 5 equals, now we have 10 for the hearts. Then we have 12 for the clubs. Then we have the diamonds will have 10 for the diamonds. 10 for the diamonds. 10 for the hearts. 12 for the clubs. And 10 for the spades. So did I get that right? Let's do that again. 2, 4, 5, 6, and the queen will have 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't have the queen, so that's the queen. The spades get 10, right? Let me see if we can move this over here. Can I move that over here? Right? So we're going to get this. 1, 2, 3. That's right. We have 42 is what we're supposed to have, up and down. So 5 equals 10, 5 equals 10, 5 equals 10, 6 equals 12. Since these all have zeros on it, they now become 21, 21, 21. And if you minus it, 0, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4 is the sun. So we would end up with 9 and 21. And it would say I and L. Him and her. I and L is him. I, L. L and L. I and E. The E and I world, 5 to 9. So this is what we'd set up with the spades. So we now know this is the count. The spades has 10 eyes. The diamond has 10 eyes. The heart has 10 eyes. The club has 12 eyes. Even though the diamond, let me show you about the diamond. All right? About the diamond is that Jack's got 2. The Queen's got 4. And then 5. So it seems like in each of these houses, okay, in each of these houses, except for the Queens, remember, the Queens have all their eyes, right? I'm looking for the last Queen in here. I can't find the last Queen in here. Almost lost this Queen. So I'm missing a Queen, but if you take a look, the Queen's got her both eyes here and her both eyes here. See which way she's looking? Right? Look at the way they're looking, okay? They're all looking the same thing, right? We're going to go through this one by one, right? So when we come to the Kings, okay? You come to the King, right? You come to the Kings, right? He's looking one way. He's turned one way. And these 2 kings are looking at each other, and on the bottom, they're looking away. They're looking at each other, and on the bottom, they're looking away. Turn over the cards. They're looking away from each other. So they got eye contact. Okay, see the separation between here and here? This, let's call this this signification, right? Let's call this Union Jack. See the S that goes through over here? This is building blocks, my friends. I just don't know what they mean right now. I've been only working on it like 10 years. But I don't know what they are. This is that race car insignia. Last thing I wanted to show you is the face. See this red part of the face? It comes off. This over here, you take a good look, this is a mask. Looks like a sword. It also looks like a stand for a mask. So you can see these are just a face. Just take this face off. One-eyed Jack for the heart. One-eyed Jack for the spade. Upside down hearts from each other, both looking at each other and both looking away. The Cancer sign for life. Split 8s. Raphael, thank you for watching.